Welcome back, guys, and today we are jumping back into SnowRunner for a really exciting update, actually. Now, very recently, the developers announced that Season 7, the full Season 7 DLC, including the Tennessee map and region, will be dropping on May 31st, which is a Tuesday. Now, for those of you that do not own the Year 2 Pass, it is going to be about a $10 DLC, and for those of you that do own the Year 2 Pass, it will be included within that. Now, I know that you guys have seen me drive around the new Tennessee map on the public test server before, but I wanted to go ahead and revisit it for a minute because this map really does include a lot of interesting features that I think are really worth, not only really worth talking about, but really worth, like, spending a little bit more time on. Now, obviously, the main one that I'm talking about here is the racetrack, which we're on right now, in the ANK MK38 Civilian. Now, why are we in the MK38 Civilian? Well, I wanted to change things up a little bit on this one, and I know that some people think that the only thing that I ever drive around this racetrack, or that you can really drive around this racetrack, are modded trucks, and while you can have a ton of fun with modded trucks around this racetrack, it is always interesting and very entertaining in my mind to take some vanilla trucks around this track just to see either how quickly you can roll them over or how many laps you can do without winding up in the wall or rolling over or something of that nature. Now, something else that I wanted to talk about is this map focuses heavily on multiplayer challenges. I really recommend playing through Season 7 with your friends if you have the option to, or if you have the ability to. Now, if you don't have the ability to play through Season 7 with your friends, luckily, the developers have actually gone ahead and included ways for you to complete a lot of these challenges in solo mode if you need to, which is a huge deal because there were a lot of people that were very unhappy about the potential for there being a multiplayer requirement when the multiplayer challenges were first introduced for Season 7. Now, let's see if this MK38 can actually land this jump at full throttle. The answer is probably not. Oh! Bro, what? No damage either. That's pretty respectable. And that's actually really, really, really good. Like, that is top-notch stuff. Bro, I'm on the active suspension, and I haven't even raised it up yet. This is in low mode. That is wild. I just did a lap of the track in the MK38 with no damage. Now, it was a... Whoa! I love how the second I say I just did a lap of the track in the ANK with no damage, that happens. I love it. Now, granted, though, I was right in front of the, like, garage, so don't worry about it. Now, one of the other really cool things about Season 7 is this actual podium right here that you can use to basically get incredible photos of every single truck. Now, looks pretty cool here in the daytime, right? But look what happens when you switch it to night. Look at that. And then basically you have to give it a minute for all of the lighting to actually initiate, and then boom, you have yourself one of the coolest photo spaces that has ever been in the game, in my opinion. And I highly recommend that when you get your hands on Season 7, you visit this podium and take a bunch of photos here because you will get some of the best photos of your entire SnowRunner career. Now, let's move on to some of the modding-focused elements of Season 7 while we drive out into the wilderness of the Tennessee region. Now, modding is getting a big upgrade in Season 7, mainly in the way of Switch mods. Now, the developers have confirmed time and time again that the Nintendo Switch will be getting, or I should say the Nintendo Switch version of SnowRunner, will be getting mod support and a mod browser once Season 7 drops. Now, as of recording this video, there are nearly 100 mods, somewhere in the neighborhood of 90 to 100 mods, that are already pre-approved for the Switch version of SnowRunner, including a lot of mods that you guys know and love. Several mods from John Hot Rod, several mods from Diesel Addict 66, and several mods from other well-known mod creators as well. This thing is a little top-heavy. Forgot how top-heavy it was, especially when you're in first-person mode. It feels like it's bobbling and wobbling all over the place. But I'm really excited to see how the Switch mods actually play out once they release. And once the Switch mods do come into the game, I'm very curious to see not only how they play, but how much actual mod memory they allow on the Switch. So let me go ahead and raise this suspension up before we go into the really gnarly parts here. And I do love the way that this thing has all-wheel drive always on and diff lock always on. There's a reason why the A&K MK38, both the standard and the civilian version, are some of my favorite vanilla trucks that have ever been in the game. Now, they don't have the greatest turning circles, and they're a little top-heavy, but really at the end of the day, they have a lot of capability, and I think that as a hauling rig or a support truck, or really whatever you want to use them for, even a rescue truck, these are always going to be wonderful options, and I think that if you're using vanilla trucks for a playthrough, it's definitely wise to have multiple A&Ks in your garage. I understand that there are some people out there that still don't like these trucks because of how top-heavy they are, and that's completely fine. I completely understand that. That is a 100% valid concern. But for me, it's still one of those trucks that I will always go back to as one of my personal favorites. Now, let me know in the comment section down below what you are most excited about in Season 7. I think Season 7 is going to be a big step forward for the series, not only because it's going to introduce Switch mods, but I think it's also going to introduce a lot of different elements that the game was kind of missing before we saw the release of the Tennessee region. Now, one of the coolest parts to me about the Tennessee region is the adjustments they have made to the physics. Now, when I say adjustments to physics, what they have basically done is they have made the trucks a lot smoother handling at higher speeds, which is a huge deal because if you're going to include racing in any element of this game, the high-speed physics need to be improved, and that's exactly what they've done. They've made the trucks a lot... Whoa! Ninja winch! Alright! They've made the trucks a lot less twitchy at high speeds, especially on dirt circuit surfaces, which is a massive upgrade from before, and it really helps to give you that ability to race without constantly feeling like your truck is going to just randomly dart into the wall. You can actually carry out, and some of the faster trucks especially, you can actually carry out high-speed drifts in a really, like, honestly smooth and controlled way, which again, massive step forward for the physics system and just for the game in general. Now, I also think that that's going to make the lives of modders a lot more interesting because, you know, mod creators that like to make a lot of racetrack inspired maps are going to be able to make ones that have more high-speed sections where you can really wring out all of the high-speed performance of these trucks while putting that power down in a controlled drift through a corner. Because, you know, while drifting obviously requires some slip, it also requires a certain degree of grip, because if you don't have any grip at all, it's just going to be ice and you won't really have much control of the slide. So while you need some element of slip, you also need some element of grip within that slip. So let's see, can you return to your wheels? Thank you! We were like way up on one side for a second there. But again, as I go through this region though, and as I drive through this area, I do want to go ahead and, whoa, really? Flipped it the opposite direction. You gonna go back the other way? Yeah? Maybe not? Oh boy. Oh, you are, wow. Wow, that's, wow. I've never had a rollover that was that weird before. That rollover was just strange. Can I reach that fallen tree? No. Really? Oh my god, the only thing I can reach is that shrub. Oh my god, are you serious? Well, I guess the only thing to do is to winch to that and then have it spin us that way. Come on. Oh my god, pull the truck over! I'm having a Hammond moment. Please, please, pull the truck. Okay, there we go. Gonna need something to, okay, never mind. I thought we were gonna need something to winch catch on the other side because that was just very odd and strange in general. Now the side of the truck is covered with mud, but that's fine. Now, this area right here, very weird because it's one of the only tasks in the game that involves bringing materials to a bridge for the purpose of dismantling said bridge. This bridge is actually here when you start the Season 7 map. However, literally the task for this bridge is to tear it down. And I think that this is the only bridge teardown task in the entire game. Very, very odd dynamic that they've put with that. And they're like, oh, we need to make things more interesting for the competitors in the off-road race series. We need you to tear down this bridge by bringing materials to the bridge. Very odd premise, like I said before. But with that all being said and done, let me know once again what you are most excited about seeing in the Season 7 DLC when it releases on the 31st of May. Let me know what you're excited about. Let me know what you're looking forward to. And also, if you're new around here and you want to stay as up-to-date as possible, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later, and hope you guys enjoyed.